Good evening. Hopefully for the last time this year, I call this meeting of the Bastrop Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present and that this meeting has been duly called, and a notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Opens Meeting Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. If you would, please rise for the pledges and a word of prayer.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. If you please remain standing, with us tonight for opening prayer is Dr. Mylene Lowe with the Bastrop First Assembly of God. Thank you for being here.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this beautiful day, God. We thank you for all the safety of all the people who are here, Lord. God, we just pray for your guidance during this meeting, Lord, that everything that is discussed, everything that is brought up, that it will be for your best interest, God, for the interest of the students and the faculty that are here, Lord. Lord, we pray for your wisdom, that there will be words of wisdom that is spoken, that everything will be according to your will, your plan, your purpose, God. Lord, I pray you would just let this be a good time of conversation, that if there's maybe some problems that have come up, Lord, that everything will be settled on common ground, Lord. We pray for your integrity. We pray for just your wisdom and your direction during this meeting, Lord. I pray for the students of Bastrop. I pray for the faculty. I pray for the parents, Lord. I pray for just your blessing upon this city and upon this county, Lord. And Lord, let this meeting just go according to your plan. And Lord, I just thank you. Let us just have a great time in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. All right, moving along to our administration of oath of office for board members. We had an unopposed school board election, and so which was great, saved the taxpayers a little over $55,000 by having an unopposed school board race, so that's exciting. We can definitely got needs to put that right back into the classrooms. And so here to administer those oaths is Judge Benton Eskew. Judge Eskew, thank you for being here. The first oath that we will administer is Priscilla Ruiz. Please come on up.
Would you raise your right hand, please? Repeat after me. I do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of School Board Trustee, Place 3, for the Bastrop Independent School District of the State of Texas, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of this state. So help me God.
All right. Oh. Thank you. All right. Congratulations. Mr. Coy.
I've always wanted him under oath. Repeat after me, please. I do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of School Board Trustee, Place 3, for the Bastrop Independent School District of the State of Texas, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state. So help me God.
All right. Judge Eskew, thank you very much for taking your time and ministering the oath. We really do appreciate it and what you do for the community. Trustee Ruiz and Coy, welcome back. Glad to have you. So, all right. Moving along here to reorganization of the Board of Leadership positions. At this first meeting after each election and qualifications of board members and members of the board shall reorganize by selecting a president, vice president, and secretary. At this time, I move to approve the board leadership positions to be reorganized as the following for the 2026-2027 school board year. President, Chris Dillon. Vice President, Dr. Matthew Mix. And Secretary, Priscilla Ruiz. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations.
I did not. Do I need to do that? No. Let's switch our name tags. I'm good. Tonight, I just want to take a moment to recognize and thank Trustee Ashley Muchink for his dedicated service as President of the Board of Trustees for the Bastrop Independent School District. Serving in that role requires countless hours, difficult decisions, steady leadership, and a deep commitment to the students, staff, and families of this district. Ashley has helped guide this board through important challenges and opportunities while maintaining a focus on what matters most: serving students and supporting the work happening in our classrooms every day. Leadership in public education is not always easy, and it often comes with sacrifices that are unseen by the community. And for that, he deserves our sincere appreciation and respect. Thank you, Ashley. I also want to recognize and thank Trustee Kelly Seacats for her years of dedicated service as Secretary of the Board. Kelly has faithfully served this district with professionalism, consistency, and care, helping support the work of the board and the district through her steady commitment to BISD and its students. Her service and leadership have been greatly appreciated. And personally, I'm grateful for the opportunity to continue serving alongside both Ashley and Kelly as they continue their work as trustees on this board. Their experience, perspective, and commitment to BISD remain valuable assets as we move forward together. I also want to say how honored I am by the trust placed in me tonight. I look forward to working with every member of this board, our superintendent, district staff, and our community as we continue focusing on student success and the future of Bastrop ISD. And I'll add this: while the title of president may change hands tonight, the mission does not. This work has never been about a title. It's about showing up, making tough decisions, and keeping students at the center of every conversation. As the saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. The strength of this board has always been in how we work together, and I have no doubt our best work is still ahead of us. Thank you both for your leadership, your service, and your continued dedication to the students of BISD. And with that, we'll move forward and continue with the next item on our agenda, which, Dr. Lee, would you please introduce our student speaker for character education trait for May, which is integrity.
Absolutely. So tonight, Ava, if you want to come on up to the podium. Ava Biddle is a 6th grade student at Riverside Middle School. She's a Riverside Grizzly. Ava plays on Bastrop FC select soccer team, as well as recreational basketball and volleyball. She has participated in UIL, art history and spelling, running club, choir, book club, safety patrol, and has been a library aide. She has also helped her father in assisting in coaching her brother's flag football team. She looks forward to making a positive impact on the world. Ava?
I believe integrity means having the ability to do the right thing even when nobody is watching. It means being honest, responsible, and true to your values. Commit to what you say and follow through. Being authentic and consistent, maintaining honesty in all conditions, even when it's difficult. Success will come and go, but integrity is forever. Here's an example. I was in class and my teacher left the classroom. She told us to behave and continue working. I showed integrity by staying on task even though nobody was there to watch. In school, integrity means doing your work, telling the truth, and admitting your mistakes instead of hiding them. These choices show respect for yourself and others. Integrity also matters in friendships and teamwork. It means keeping your promises, not spreading rumors, and treating others fairly. People trust you more when they know you are honest and dependable. Outside of school, integrity guides your actions in sports, at home, and in your community. It helps you make good choices even when it is hard or when others pressure you to do something different. No one is perfect and everyone makes mistakes. Integrity is about what you do after those mistakes, owning them, learning from them, and trying to do better next time. In the end, integrity builds trust, respect, and strong character. It is one of the most important qualities a person can have.
Excellent job. Hey, Ava, don't leave. Ava, can you come back to the podium? Sorry, you're not quite done yet. So why don't you introduce who you have with you tonight?
I have my little brother, John, and my mom and dad.
Mom and Dad and John, can you guys stand up? Also, Ava, we have a little gift from Miss Rodea for you. Thank you for coming tonight. You did a great job.
Moving on to our recognitions, the Bastrop Area Livestock Show FFA Grand Champions and Reserve Champions. Our presenter tonight is Chad Gertz, our CTE coordinator.
Impossible to follow that up, but I'll try. Before I give recognition to these students, I want to thank the board for tonight, this opportunity. The two campus administrators I deal with the most, Ms. Gabriel and Ms. Stagman, and of course, my boss in the back, Ms. Raina Ellis. It gives me great pleasure to recognize and congratulate a great cohort of students. Agriculture is big for me, being a former ag teacher in this district. I know, seeing behind the curtain, how much hard work, dedication, and time goes into this. So if your name is up here, guys, please move forward. You can pick these kids out easy by the cowboy boots and hats. For the Bastrop Area Livestock Show, this year's Grand and Reserve Champions. Grand Champion out of Bastrop High School for public speaking, Miss Gabby Lopez. Reserve Grand Champion Agriculture Mechanics, Samantha McFarland. Reserve Grand Champion Western Art, Crystal Contreras. Senior Swine Showmanship, Cameron Tucker. Senior Lamb Showmanship, Alexa Meza Vega. And from Cedar Creek High School, Grand Champion Agriculture Mechanics, Nyla Sanchez Vargas. Grand Champion Market Lamb, Greg Thompson. Reserve Grand Champion Market Goat, Greg Thompson. Again, Senior Showmanship Broilers, Marissa Guerrero. And Senior Showmanship Goat, Miss Paisley Foskey. It says the first 7 words in the FFA Creed, we make them memorize. I believe in the future of agriculture, and I know here at BISD, we too believe in the future of agriculture. So big round of applause for these guys.
Next, we'll move into recognizing our top students from the Colorado River Collegiate Academy, Cedar Creek High School, and Bastrop High School, including the valedictorian and salutatorian. And we're going to start with the principal of Bastrop High School, Ms. Crystal Gabriel.
Good evening, everyone. Students, when I call your name to be recognized as this year's top 10 for Bastrop High School, if you will please come to the front so everyone can see your beautiful faces. Starting us out at number 10, who will be attending the University of North Texas, is Ms. Taylor Murray. I think she's not here today. I think I have 2 that weren't able to make it. Number 9, Melanie Falden, who will be attending at Texas State University. Asher Metzler, who's also not able to attend today, is number 8. He will also be attending Texas State University. Number 7 for the class of 2026 is Miss Lauren Rosales. She will be attending the University of Texas at Austin. Number 6 is Caden Justice. He will be attending the University of Texas at Austin as well. Avery Gonzalez is number 5 for the class of 2026, and she will be attending the University of Texas in Austin. Number 4 is Marshall Abbey, who will be attending Texas A&M University. Hannah Saugaville is number 3. Hannah will be attending the University of Texas A&M in Galveston. And this year's Bastrop High School salutatorian, ranked 2nd in his class, is Angel Jaimes, who will be attending the University of Texas at Austin. Bastrop High School's valedictorian for the class of 2026 is Jada Hodge. She will also be attending the University of Texas in Austin. Board, thank you so much for their support for Bastrop High School for these students. We have nothing but amazing things to say about them and for their future. And so thank you for your support. Students, congratulations on all of your hard work and your ranking for this year. Class of 2026, guys. Yeah, I missed him too. Oh, yeah, of course I do.
Our next presenter is Martin Conradi, the principal of the Colorado River Collegiate Academy.
Good evening, Board. I am here tonight to present Circa's top 5 graduating students for the class of 2026. Coming in at number 5 is Leslie Herrera Fraga. She is the daughter of Raul Herrera Juarez, Alicia Fraga Rodriguez, and in the fall, Leslie will attend the University of Texas at Arlington, majoring in government. Our number 4 student is Jalen Hodge. He is the son of Shaughnessy and Raquel Hodge. Jalen will begin his pursuit of a degree in journalism at the University of Texas at Austin in August. Circa's number 3 student this year is Kaylee Salas, and she is the daughter of Dave and Marilyn Salas. In the fall, Kaylee will attend Texas A&M University in College Station, majoring in biomedical sciences. Board of Trustees, please welcome the salutatorian for the Circa class of 2026, Bailey Alexander. Bailey is the daughter of Timothy and Tiffany Alexander. Come August, Bailey will begin her pursuit of a degree in aerospace engineering at the University of Texas at Austin. It is now my honor to introduce you to the valedictorian for the Circa class of 2026, Juan Ruiz Vernaza. JP is the son of Julio Ruiz and Marcela Vernaza. In the fall, Juan will matriculate into Texas A&M University at College Station, majoring in general engineering.
Our next presenter is Ms. Casey Stagman, principal of Cedar Creek High School.
Thank you. I have the honor to recognize the top 10 students for Cedar Creek High School, class of 2026, starting with number 10, Trevor Culpepper, who will attend Texas A&M University, and he will major in electrical engineering. Number 9 is Emily Guerrera. She will attend the University of Texas at Austin, and she will major in psychology. Number 8, Araceli Lopez will attend Austin Community College, majoring in architecture. Number 7 is Allison Hogard. She will attend University of Texas at Austin, majoring in kinesiology. Number 6 for Cedar Creek High School is Alberto Vera. He will attend the University of Texas at Austin, majoring in biology. And number 5 is Omar Marquez. He will attend Texas State University with a major in computer science. Number 4 is Naomi Ish. Naomi will attend the University of Texas at Austin and also major in computer science. Number 3 is Dylan Redmond. He will attend the University of Chicago, majoring in economics. And the salutatorian for Cedar Creek High School is Sarah Nix, who will attend the University of Texas at Austin, majoring in biology. And our number 1 student for the class of 2026, valedictorian, is Mackenzie Roberts, who will attend the University of Texas at Austin, majoring in neuroscience. Congratulations.
We'll move in next into our teacher recognitions. Our presenter is Diana Green, Chief Human Resources Officer.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me. President Dillon, trustees, and superintendent. I know, first time I had to stop for a second. It is a little bit easier to say. So tonight I'd like to recognize several groups of educators. If we can get to the slides, we'll bring them up separately based off of the slide. So if your name is on the screen, if you can come up. So first, we're proud to recognize employees who recently earned their undergrad degrees. Completing a degree while working in education full-time requires perseverance, discipline, and dedication. Their achievement reflects a strong commitment to personal growth and continued service to our students and community. So this is the first group again. Undergraduate are the only. We have certificates for you. Do you want to go ahead and bring those up? And then do we just want to take pictures out?
We're going to come up and
Okay.
take them.
Okay, so we'll start with this group. Thank you so much for coming tonight.
Have them come and have them.
Them, yeah. So this next group, we also want to recognize teachers who recently earned their standard teaching certification, which is the goal for for all of our teachers, right? Everybody working towards certification. Obtaining certification again while serving students full-time is a tremendous accomplishment. So if you're, I don't know if either of these ladies are with us tonight?
Yeah.
Yes, welcome, come on up. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. Okay, so I wanted to explain a little bit about the final group. So we're proud to recognize teachers who earned their standard teaching certification and qualified for a new $1,000 one-time incentive established through House Bill 2 with this most recent 89th legislative session. This initiative was created to support districts in hiring, supporting, and retaining teachers while encouraging uncertified teachers to complete the requirements needed for their standard. So Texas Education Agency sends us a list of everybody that qualified, and you'll see we had a pretty good group that qualified for the additional $1,000 stipend. So if you are on the list, if you can come forward so we can recognize you. And I'm going to move items forward. Okay, so to all of tonight's honorees, thank you for the dedication to Bastrop ISD and for the difference you make in the lives of students each day. We're proud to celebrate your accomplishments and grateful to have you as part of the Bastrop ISD family. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Diane.
All righty.
Next, we'll go into our paraprofessionals of the year, including district, elementary, secondary paraprofessionals of the year, our teachers of the year, including district, elementary, secondary teachers of the year, and elementary, secondary rock star rookies of the year. Our presenter is Jennifer Eberly, our chief academic officer.
Okay, good evening, Board and Dr. Lee. Each year, our campuses and departments recognize outstanding paraprofessionals who go above and beyond in service to students, staff, and their school communities. These individuals play an essential role in supporting learning and ensuring that our campuses have what they need to succeed. So when I call your name, let me recognize these paraprofessionals of the year. Sabrina Moreno, Apollonia Tovar, Jessica Ann Wells, Delia Ramirez, Jenna Esquivel. If you guys will come up if you're in the audience, please. Jennifer Porraras, Amanda Romero, Anthony Brown, Brenda Balderas, yes, Justin McBride, Deetra Aldridge, Kira Haywood, Lana Jankovic, Sarah Ann Atkinson, Saron Morales, Laura Perez, Kim Nesbitt, Adriana Taylor, and last but not least, our elementary paraprofessional of the year, Miss Rosalinda Thompson. And our secondary paraprofessional of the year, Mr. Alfred Carter Sr. Okay, next is our Rockstar Rookies. These outstanding educators are in their first years of teaching and have already made a tremendous impact on their campuses and in the lives of their students. Their enthusiasm, dedication, and commitment to learning and growth represent a bright future for our profession. So let's honor our Rockstar Rookies, Miss Caitlin Casey and Mr. Aldo Frosto. Okay, we got one more. Just preparing you. Our campuses also recognize the Teacher of the Year, educators who exemplify excellence in the classroom and represent the very best of what their campuses offer to students every day. Through their dedication, passion, and commitment to student success, these teachers make a lasting impact on the lives of those they serve. So when I call your name, will you also come forward to be recognized? Anna McDaniel. Oop. There it goes. Okay. Anna McDaniel, Naomis Bidat Morales, Jacqueline Hager, Jennifer Guajardo, Barbara Lang, Susana Valdiva Villa, Amanda Brindle, Shaylan Mulligan, Jake Watkins, Becky Bray, Cassie Tidwell, Myquisha Canaday Ward, Jennifer Hobbs, Dr. Deidre Dowdy, Jeff Perez, Catherine Stubbs, Melissa Hanna. And then we also want to recognize our elementary and secondary teacher of the year, Mr. Albert Mango, and Anita Frank. Magno, I'm sorry. Mr. Magno.
Can we squeeze in return side?
There we go. Yeah, can we go?
Ms. Frank, one more.
No one signed up for our open forum, so that brings us into our mission moment about student technology teams. Our presenter is Chris Laircy, Director of Digital Learning and Library Services. Welcome, Chris.
Hi there. Good evening, Board of Trustees and Dr. Lee. I'm very excited to share an update about our Verizon Innovative Learning Schools partnership and share some exciting news as well. So I want to start with a slide that I ended on the last time I spoke with you about this, talking about what we expected as we came into this partnership. Bastrop Middle School and Cedar Creek Middle School were in the planning phase to start this 2-year partnership, potentially 4-year partnership. And I landed on saying that our goal is to be a model standout leader in transformative technology integration and leadership development. And today I'm excited to share some of the ways that I believe that we have done just that. So we've found success in a number of ways through transformative technology being woven into the instruction in our classrooms, from being good steward of our resources with device management and care. We've even received district recognition, and the most exciting thing I'm here to talk to you about is recognizing some of our student leaders that have participated in our student tech teams at those campuses. But this takes a team, and so I also want to recognize the core VILS team. You see many of them pictured here. My partner in crime, Mr. Randy Sharp, Director of IT Services, both building principals, Ms. Riza Cooper and Ms. Tiffany Pearson, along with our VILS technology coaches, Ms. Cindy Tran and Ms. Hannah Jasic, as well as their VILS IT points of contact, Ms. Rosalena Lopez and Ms. Erin Barnett. But it takes the whole campus community and district community, but those are the core folks in the VILS team, and so I wanted to recognize their efforts. So these are just a handful. I could stand up here and talk all day, but I think we've got a more meeting to get to. But some of the key call-outs here are, in terms of instruction, our coaches do some walkthroughs. They do some at the beginning of the year, and then after teachers have done some professional learning, they follow up with additional walkthroughs, and they track measures of technology integration and how that transforms the classrooms into more active, collaborative, and meaningful learning environments. And we saw in many categories, 53% jump, and this is a whole scale, and I could bore you with charts and graphs, but there are many teachers that are going way up on the spectrum into a transformative level of the way that they are integrating technology in their classrooms and offering those learning experiences to students. And additionally, when it comes to device management, in great part to the students you're about to hear from, we have seen a great reduction in lost, damaged devices. They're taking great care of their devices and making sure that we are keeping those ready to use for instruction. And then next, we have actually been recognized as a district by the Verizon Innovative Learning Schools program and are going to receive an award for coherent systems and sustainable innovation. This recognizes schools and districts that build aligned, sustainable systems to support impactful technology integration. We will actually be recognized on a national call. These campuses are all across the country, and so we'll be recognized on May 21st for our success within the program. But again, the most exciting part I want to talk to you and have you hear from is our student tech team leaders. These students are, as you can see in these pictures, taking a very active part in their campuses, not only just maintaining the devices, but how they're using technology, from announcements to interviews to engaging ideas and activities. And they've actually become a part of district conversations and really shown excellent leadership there. So I'll start by introducing our team representatives from Bastrop Middle School, James Gee and Matron Barnett. They are both 8th grade students who will come up and talk about their team.
I'm James Gee, and I'm here to talk about the tech team leadership at my school. I'm the president, and the president basically oversees all of the 3 different groups of the team, and those 3 groups are maintenance, inventory, and content. Maintenance does repairs and handles damaged devices. Inventory assigns and unassigns devices for students who join the school or students who leave the school. And content designs posters that you see all around the school and creates videos for the team and groups outside of the team. Thank you.
For the spot check completion, we have actually had an average all around during the actual window of about 95 for the student body that is actually there. But in that 5-day window that we had, we also did all of the teachers along the same time. And then after the 5-day window, we got the absentees and those that weren't at school, and we spot checked them. So in the end, we did get everybody. And what we mean by spot checks is going in and checking the conditions of the computers and seeing if they all work or not.
Awesome, great job.
Thank you, gentlemen. And on those spot checks, this is a task at many campuses that is on the teachers' plate, and so these campuses have been very happy to have student helpers come in and assist with that task, and they've done an excellent job of it, as you can see. So next up, I would like to bring up the team from Cedar Creek Middle School with Autumn Bunker and Isabel Padron, our 8th grade representatives.
Hello, thank you for having us. I'm Autumn.
And I'm Isabel.
And we're here to talk about our Cedar Creek Middle School tech team, so I'm going to start off with having Isabel.
In addition to what Bastrop said, we also started distributing devices prior to the beginning of the school year during our tech rollout, which was really fun to be a part of because it was led by students. During our tech rollout, we held a live stream where we explained how to use and care for the new VILS devices. During our tech rollout, we also had interviews with teachers and students so we can get their opinions on the new tech. Here at Cedar Creek, we also have school announcements every morning where we share quick tech tips on how to care for your computer, and we also share daily affirmations, which we like to call an Eagle Creed.
So on top of that, we have our end of day loaner collection. And this is where our student tech team, like me, Isabel, and a few other of our members, we actually go into the classrooms and we collect the loaners at the end of the day, so we don't have to have that what if the students will turn it in or not. That way we'll have 100% ready for the next day. So this guarantees that we have them charged, ready, cleaned, make sure nothing's broken or cracked, and they're ready for distribution for the new students who need them the following. So we also participated in professional development lunch and learns, which is where me and Isabel actually got to teach teachers about Pear Deck and Short Answer and how to operate VR headsets for teachers who had the opportunity for using them in class. Like in my history class, we actually used them to simulate the Oregon Trail, so that was really cool. And I got to help some of other students understand them. And then all the student tech team who participated in STEAMFest did place in top 3 or more. So me and Isabel actually participated with one of our other members. We participated in the middle school Inspire category, and we focused on tech team empowerment and gender equality, especially for women in the tech field, and we placed first in our category.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right, another big round of applause for those students for sharing their work. And last, I'd like to make an exciting announcement. I think much in part due to our success with this first cohort in cohort 12 of the VILS program with these 2 campuses. We are very excited to announce that we are continuing our journey, and starting in this upcoming school year, Creekside Middle School and Riverside Middle School will be joining cohort 13, led by those building principals, Ms. Heather Christie and Ms. Michelle Nicholas. And we've done a lot of great work. We've got a lot of more work to do, and we're excited to get to it. So I think with that, are there any questions?
No question. Thank you, Chris.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you all.
That's awesome. Next, we'll move into our superintendent's report. Our presenter is our superintendent, Dr. Christy Lee.
I'm going to keep my report brief tonight. This time of year is just filled with all the things, end-of-year concerts, performances, senior signings, robing ceremonies, other celebrations like field days and knowledge fairs, and it's been a privilege to be a part of those. I've tried to hit as many as I possibly could, and so have other members of our team. I know that everyone who works in BISD is feeling a bit tired at this point in the year, including our students and maybe even our school board trustees. Maybe. I want to thank all of you so much for just how much you show up and invest your time and energy for our students and staff. I really want to congratulate our campuses. We've had a great school year. We just have a few days left before we close the books on the 25-26 school year, and I couldn't be more grateful just for the incredible support that you have shown to me this year as your superintendent. The work ethic of my colleagues in the district office, our amazing school administrators, some of whom you heard from tonight, hardworking teachers and support staff, again, as was evidenced tonight, parents, students, and just everyone in between who really goes above and beyond to give their best so that Bastrop ISD can be our best. So thank you, everyone, for the part that you played in helping us on our mission this year, and we are indeed still on a mission. So next week, we'll graduate students from Bastrop High School, the Colorado River Collegiate Academy, Cedar Creek High School, and Genesis High School. It's the culmination of years of hard work, and it's both the end of one journey and the beginning of another one. So let's stay focused, BISD, stay safe, stay humble, and be kind in all that we do with one another. Let's finish this school year strong.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. Next, we'll move into our business report with our proposed budget for 26-27 school year. Our presenter is Mike White, our Chief Financial Officer. Good news for us, Mike.
Great news. All right. So tonight I come to you with a proposal. We've been working on this since February, talking about process, inputs, information, planning, and you're starting to see the culmination of some of those efforts here in May and June. May with the proposal, and June with the adoption. So just to reiterate for everyone as we look at our first proposed budget here, some of our priorities. We had safety and security foremost among those. We have 2 police officers being added, 2 campus monitors at the secondary levels, at the high school level rather. So those were a key priority. Special education, we have 2 life skills teachers as part of our expansion there, while we're also consolidating our life skills classrooms from 9 campuses to 4. As well as autism services. That's something that has been grant funded that we'll be continuing with within the general fund. We have life skills and behavior parapay. That was a priority as we went through the process. And then a number of things under academic achievement. We have a virtual program that we're rolling out, as you're aware of, at the middle school level. We have an endeavor to address chronic absenteeism at our high schools. We have support for new principals and new APs that we have for next year being a priority, and then trying to reduce elementary student-teacher ratios for some of our certain high-need campuses. So some of these we've talked about the last few months, but we wanted to summarize for you as we move forward. Continuing on our priorities, we have the final transition for the middle school. We have an FTE for band and counselor spread between our 2 new middle schools, that's CMS and RMS. We have some operations staff as we continue to expand our footprint. We have a preventative maintenance technician, 2 child nutrition staff positions, and 3 custodians. And then competitive compensation, always a priority at top of mind for the board and administration. Focusing on, beyond an overall raise, focusing specifically on teacher pay for veteran teachers, those that are currently 9 to 19 years, an area, or rather a range where we've struggled, compared to market a little bit, working to address that in coming years. And then increasing our pay for our lowest paid employees, those below $15 an hour, bringing them up to that level. All right, so let's talk about compensation. We had some scenarios and talked quite a bit in our budget workshop. We'll come to you with a proposal tonight, a recommendation. This being for certified teachers, 2% of midpoint, that being $1,262, with a few exceptions, so that being starting pay and the fifth year, those on the fifth year as we execute and finish rolling out House Bill 2. Other staff, 2% of midpoint. That, of course, there's always the exception of DOI teachers and parapluses. Those have their own pay scales and compensation standards. So overall, with a few exceptions, 2% of midpoint, which is one of the scenarios we talked about last month, and that it is included in your proposed budget here tonight. So a couple of assumptions we want to talk about, reiterate. Enrollment and attendance, those were in this proposal holding steady. That's something we're holding constant. There are a lot of unknowns as both our virtual program rolls out and vouchers roll out statewide next year. We had some concerns with growth mid-year. Seems to have remained steady in the past few months, but something we're going to have to watch closely as we move into next year. Also, an assumption that our special education funding increase of 4% is on target. That is something we won't even know until after the school year is over, as we stated before. But an important, one of the few increases we had this year that we wanted to talk about. Unknowns, the impact of vouchers. There continues to be data released on the first and second tiers of approved applications. Some district level information rolled out. It's hard to decipher if those are students that were currently in our classrooms or in recent years, or that might already be in a private or homeschool situation. So lastly, as we stated before, I want to reiterate that rules related to virtual education have yet to be released. That's something that the funding is more or less assumed, but the execution of as so many districts roll out virtual education for next year, hope to see some guidance released in the next month or two related to how, we're still in an attendance-based system. So how do you record attendance for virtual students, when and how, and all the rules that go along with administering a program like that. One update we've had since the budget workshop I thought was pertinent to update you guys on. TRS active care rates were, they came out, I think, last week for 26-27. The highlight there being that the employee-only plan increased $37 a month, or about $444 per year. Most of our employees are on an employee-only plan, whether it be the high deductible plan or otherwise. I would say roughly 75%, or their increase would be 37, include the one-time payment that we talked about from the 2022 audit. So the net result here would be a deficit or impact to fund balance of $1.664 million. And this has some of the specifics we talked about. I know in the budget workshop it was a little difficult to discuss 2 years at once. We're not used to doing that, but I felt important to kind of give you guys an idea of what we're looking at for next year, and the fact that this year's budget is what it is with a couple of one-time items factored in. So, stated more plainly, everything else held constant, our budget for next year would be $4.3 million worse, so that 1.6 becomes 5.9. That's it in a nutshell, right? Any other changes we make tonight or before we adopt, of course, would impact that number. But that does assume we don't know what the legislative session is going to bear, if that will bear fruit next year. We don't know if students will grow or decline. There's a lot of unknowns, right? So, but based on, what we do know now, that's what it would look like year over year. So I'm going to stop there for a second, right here. See if you have any questions about the general fund budget.
I just have one question. Line item 99, the expenditures, intergovernmental charges, other.
Yes, sir. That's the official name for it. The intergovernmental relationship there is with the appraisal district. So we pay about $415,000 per per quarter. And, you know, paying them to appraise every property is the biggest intergovernmental relationship we have. The tax collections are much smaller, and those are included in Function 41.
Well, for them, they're getting a 6% increase in their budget this next year, is that right?
I know it was about $50,000 to $60,000 offhand. I don't know what the percentage was, but this does a factor. That's one change that we had from last month, is they did deliver the proposed budget.
This would be a good opportunity for the board to meet our chief appraiser, Ms. Fawn. Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thank you very much.
Been talking about you. I did.
Yes.
So, in terms of a percentage, I'm not sure. Relative to the 1.6, it seemed very reasonable. Thank you.
I guess they're both smiling. I guess we should be.
Sure. Okay, good questions. Any others?
I do. Mike, I noticed on the, on instruction, the code 11, and then looking back on some of your reports, we initially had that at I'm just round numbers.
Sure.
We initially had it at 83 million, and now
Yeah.
we're coming down to 78 million. What?
Yeah, that's a
We're
fair
not
question.
losing any teachers, are we?
No, and the budget hasn't changed overall. I think I want to see March, April were the 2 months where that was cleaned up a little bit. I intended, after we adopted the original budget last year, to break all these, all the monies we had for House Bill 2 and raises and personnel units for growing 480 kids. Those kind of get allocated throughout the different functions. Some of the monies for raises in House Bill 2 I had in Function 11, and I intended to move in August when we had our tax rate and we had final appraised values. And I just kicked the can down the road. I hadn't done it until March, April, and so I apologize for that. It didn't impact the bottom line. It was just getting things where they needed to be in terms of these the breakdown that's required. No change in personnel units, just a coding issue on my end.
Because I was noticing how code 11 was decreasing, but codes 21, 23, and 31 all
Yeah.
increased. And so that
Counseling,
was the
technology,
adjustment?
yeah, you'll notice those are some of the other larger functions. So I guess when in doubt, because instruction is such a large share of our budget, that was the default for some of those monies as I was working through all the iterations. And so I just meant to go back and break it out, and I apologize that it took a little while, but it's been revised, and again, it didn't change the bottom line throughout the year.
I think it's important to know we have the whole team in the room. This is a team effort, and we worked hard to build our fund balance up. This is the first time we're having to go into it, and that's for a 2% raise. We can't do this next year. We're already going into a $6 million deficit next year. We will have an increase on health insurance. Has nothing to do with me. We just know that we will. But it's going to take everybody next year really staying on top of attendance, really try not to encourage 2 to 3 senior skip days at these high schools. Every single thing helps. Every single day helps when these kids aren't there. I know that it's in there, and I know it's easy for society and say it's always been that way, but we got to have all hands on deck, and hopefully we'll have some student growth. Hopefully we'll have some help from legislation, but if we don't, we still need to be doing all the blocking and tackling, because that's a big deficit to go into next year. And so I'm comfortable with doing a leap of faith to get to the 2%, which does consist of that. It's all payroll, $1.6 million out of fund balance.
Most of it's definitely payroll, and I will say to that, I think after we adopt this in June, I think we're going to continue to work on the budget for next year. I think the work starts immediately. That seems to be the landscape across the state. I think I saw something in maybe the Tribune that 2/3 of districts across the state are in a deficit currently, and that's prior to the rollout of vouchers. So it's definitely a struggle, and we've taken effort to be conservative. We have reserves. We've saved for a rainy day, and after growing for 40, 50 years in a row, it's currently raining. You know, this is my good luck to show up when all the kids stop growing, stop coming. That's an interesting challenge.
Well, I think
I
it's a-
did not come up in the interview, I promise.
Well, and I think it's important to know that next budget, we'll be opening up another elementary, so everybody doing their job really gives some relief to Camino Real, gives some relief to Cedar Creek Elementary that are 900 to 1,000 students, and so I know that those staff, all them, those teammates of yours will really appreciate, we really gotta have all hands on deck, and everybody's working really hard, we just gotta stay focused for next year.
I agree. Lots of planning going into next year, and, fingers crossed, glass half full. Hopefully, our representatives understand our needs and can find the funding to do something for public ed.
Mike, I've got a couple.
Sure.
Anyone else?
After you go.
Oh, okay. I noticed that, again, back on the original budget, on a revenue, 4.9 million from other local and intermediate sources, $4.9 million, but yet it's not on this year's, or the coming year's budget. Is that something we lost?
No, I'd have to look at that specifically, to be honest with you. Most of the local revenue, most of it's, the lion's share is taxes. So we did have compressed tax rate after the year started. So if you're looking at last year's original budget, we didn't have compression at that point. So when we did this year's budget and we revised in the spring, you're going to see that come down, state revenue come up a little bit. Now, while both of those things are happening, we had 400 kids that didn't show up, so there's also that going on. So but that's kind of what's going on within those numbers.
Now, you based the budget on how many students? I mean, I know it was average daily attendance. Was that?
Yeah, I do. I appreciate that. It is ADA. We're at about 12,080
So that's
ADA
what
now.
Okay.
We had 480, so right at 12.5.
Okay.
If I'm doing my quick math correctly.
And this might be with Dr. Lee, how did the virtual learning application, how is that going? Is that something that we can, I mean, I don't know how, funding is still questionable how we're going to do that, but have we got the 200 students?
We have, it's been a slow start to the virtual education, but we've done some marketing efforts that we hope we will probably push that deadline to beyond May 15th, just to continue taking students. The good news is, we've heard from, some districts in our area, what's the percentage that they're getting of current students who are with them that are just switching to virtual versus new students. Looks like it's about a 70-30, 70 internal students and 30%. Ours is running about 50-50. So we'll continue to watch it. The communications staff is doing a really nice job at doing some marketing efforts through some digital billboards in the area and directly reaching out to the families who are already enrolled in virtual school elsewhere to recruit them back to BISD. We think that doing this pilot year with middle school, we're not getting as many students as we wanted, but this will allow us the opportunity to really set ourselves up for high school next year, which is where we think the more significant enrollment will come with all of the, the things that come with it. It's just a more difficult challenge, but we'll spend this year getting it set up nicely, I think.
Yeah, and to your question in terms of costs, if we have 550 or 500 kids, the good news is that it's more or less self-funded because we're going to staff at a level that's appropriate for, for the need, but also the resources that come with, $10,000-ish per student, maybe a little lower for virtual because of various weights, but so we won't lose money. It's just a matter of we're just trying to compete in a changing, atmosphere. The market's changing with parent choices, and we're just trying to compete, with everyone else. So.
I have one last question. In the information you submitted, I saw something about our fund balance is at 4.2 months. Is that accurate?
Yeah, if you use the current year budget, it is. I think for next year, it's about 4.1.
So with this
change.
1.6 that you're proposing, it'll go down to 4.1? Is it?
Yeah, it's about $1 million per decimal point.
Okay.
So it's about 1.5. So it'd probably go down about 4 months.
And what was was it the first rating? What
Yeah,
was
that's a
their
good, I appreciate the
recommendation?
segue, I just like
Yeah.
your practice. So several of the indicators talk about reserves, right? So one is, do you have a deficit budget? If you do, which most of us do you have 90 days cash on hand, right? Or fund balance. So, obviously we have, 125 or 30,
Right. Okay.
days with 4 months. So, so we're well above that standard. There's another one that I think Trustee Ruiz and I were just talking about. One has a standard of 90 days, one has a standard of 60. They both measure the same basic thing, which is the health of your reserves. Right? It's a good indicator of financial health, right? Of having cash in bank, particularly before you start getting tax revenue in December, January, and you have to make payroll in the fall. So you're not getting state aid and you're not getting taxes yet. So that's the primary reason for those reserves, but it helps for situations that come up like this year. So it doesn't change the number a whole lot, but like we talked about at the budget workshop, you just don't want to keep going down that path, to your point. It's not something you can live off of.
Next year will be 2 million, 4 million.
Right.
It's gonna keep.
It can get away from you. Hayes, I think, is publicly,
Oh, yeah.
Hayes ISD's talked about they ended up down that road, and now they're trying to wind up back that road and rebuild fund balance in the same way that they used it, and just being leaner. So we have to, be proactive, stay out ahead of those things, so we don't find ourselves in a difficult situation. So I think that's the board's charge, and I respect that, and we go to work.
Cool. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mike, I just have a question about transportation.
Sure.
Since Gold Star's back there, I see him. Hi, guys.
Like a family meeting.
So
All
we've
right.
had, and I might be wrong on this, guys, but about 120-something routes that we run generally, or that we did this last school year. I know routes are going to probably increase, over time. So I was looking at the budget number for this year
Yeah.
versus last year. Did you forecast for next year when you
We did.
calculations? Okay.
Yeah, let's talk
6
about
million.
that. So the contract calls for an annual adjustment for inflation, right? So that's the biggest change. Now, I will say that if we don't anticipate growing students and not change anything, at least not for next year, we're not adding another campus, there's no real, no changing dynamics. Status quo is the same with students, so transportation is more or less the same. So I think when you said that we've been adding routes, we've also been growing, in prior years. So those go hand in hand. I don't anticipate, you never know if you have a special needs student or we have a boot camp or other situation. We'll of course do what's best for kids, but not planning an expansion of routes for next year. Right? Right, okay. Good answer. Yeah, so
Okay.
to answer
And
your
then
question.
One other thing, not to put you on the spot, and I know it's not in your presentation, but here, just lately, there's just been more and more and more of these voter-approved tax rate elections
yeah.
in districts really across the state, addressing these same issues. We talked about this earlier, that we're kind of all in the same boat together. So I wanted you to just talk just for a second about that and what that would mean, and certainly just to reiterate what we talked about earlier about compression and your expectations around that.
Yeah, and for the community and others that aren't super familiar, I'll give you a 10-second overview of what our trustee is referring to. A portion of our M&O tax rate, there's 2 tiers, and the base tier is dictated to us, right? The state calculates it in late July. It's on our budget calendar. And then you have supplemental, like local pennies, right? Up to 8 golden pennies, right? Golden because, they pay the most in the formula. We currently access 5 of those. So the folks that you're looking at that are having VATREs or VATers, whatever you might call it, are basically going to their communities and asking for support to capture those pennies, basically raise the tax rate and get the significant amount of funding that comes with those. There's some additional pennies after that level that are called copper pennies because obviously gold isn't the same as copper. It doesn't yield as much. So that's something that every school board and community has to decide. I know it's definitely something that's on the table for folks that haven't done it already. I mean, and if many of us kind of view it as if it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, just because you looking at deficit budgets, you're wanting to take care of staff and have student needs. And it's one tool, it's one of the few tools that we have local control over, right? Which is always something the state talks about. So,
in other words, we keep our money local when we have that.
Sure, yeah, it's an attractive option for the amount of local effort. Those 3 pennies would yield, estimated over $6 million. So
those 3 pennies, and it may not be relating this, but per $100,000 value of home, those 3 pennies, would it increase that 100,000 in taxes, property taxes?
Are you talking in the aggregate
If we went
or?
from 5 to 3. I'm just trying to keep this.
5 to 8.
5 to 8?
5 to 8, I'm sorry, 5 to 8.
Yeah, I was looking at it from a homeowner's point of view in terms of the overall. I'd have to calculate it, but I think per penny it was something like $30. If you have a $300,000 home, I want to say, if I'm doing the math correctly, per penny it's about $30. In terms of the math, it's always, especially going for 3 pennies, it's typically pretty attractive because if you take $90, talk to your community about, what is that, $7 or $8 a month, like a meal at McDonald's, can help support or fund a teacher raise, something like that. Those are the kind of discussions that people have. And again, it's up to the community and then up to the board. It's just not something we've done here. So I like to give you all the options, give you an idea of what you get to make decisions on. And the budget and the tax rate are several of the few beyond board policy and hiring a great superintendent. So
we would vote on, if we decided to use the 3 pennies, we would vote on that in November, is that correct?
Yeah.
We would put it to the public in November, is that correct?
So in a nutshell, you would set that rate, you would approve that in August or September, rather, and it would trigger the election in November. They can only ever be in November, these elections. So it would trigger that, and if it was ratified by the voters or approved, then it would be in your budget. Otherwise, if it failed, you'd have to revise your budget down. That's typically how it goes. You would hold those funds. You wouldn't spend them, right, because you don't know the outcome. And then you would, either adjust teacher pay at that point, give a one-time payment, whatever you plan to do with the funding would then be available after November 10th or whenever the uniform election day is.
But that concept is not in this proposed budget.
Oh no, sir. I wouldn't get that. I wouldn't get out ahead of you. I'm just sharing the information. I think we had somebody ask about it in the past. This would be the time to talk or plan, but no, this is based on. I don't even know exactly what our M&O rate is going to be. Every year we get that rate calculated in late July, so we have to make adjustments between local and state based on what that looks like. With our growth, we may compress a little bit. It could be maybe a penny or so, depending on what the state does. But yeah.
Mike, with it's in the news that all these data centers that are coming in, and I believe there's one in our district. Of course, that's nice property taxes that people are going to assume that we're going to get. I think I read somewhere that the county can abate. I don't think we did or can. But how does that? I mean, if you give it to the local public, they're sitting there going, well, here you've got this, I don't know, $1 billion structure. Why can't we collect 100% of that tax? So if you can kind of go into that on.
Sure.
That's not 100%. We don't get it all.
Yeah, I want to say there was something. Glen Rose, Texas, I think is one interesting school district with the amount of local values there. I forget if it was oil reserves or a power plant or something like that, it can greatly skew that. If every district were able to keep all their local dollars, but the formula for equity's sake doesn't work that way. One of the districts I came from was at Highland Parks. You can imagine every penny they tax generates quite a bit more than some district in the valley, right? But the formula kind of equalizes that. We talk about equalization a lot. So you can only fill your cup based on how many kids you have in certain formulas. When that cup spills over, you're into recapture. And we're not in that situation, but some of our Austin peers, like Eanes, recapture district. And so in terms of M&O operating, you get a little bit for those golden pennies, right? You get a little bit, but by and large, it really helps you on the debt service side. It helps you build schools. It doesn't help you operate your district.
I'm old enough to think that that was the Robin Hood Act.
Oh, yeah, well, it was, yeah, in the early 90s. Now, there used to be an exception to that, Chapter 313. There were some agreements across the state that were, really helpful for districts and advantageous, and those have been, done away with.
So just because the county perhaps may make a deal with property owners, the commercial property owners, that really does not affect school districts?
No, ma'am. Every taxing entity kind of has their own model. I don't even know what rules the county would operate under. There is something that did replace the 313. It's called the jetty. Don't ask me to. I think it's the J stands for jobs. I know it's
Energy, something yes.
Similar to 313 in that it's an incentive for industry. Some power plants. What was your example?
Data centers.
Data centers, those kinds of things. It's big. There's a lot of them in the Houston area, and so that's something you're seeing pop up as these companies want to look at applying for that. Now, the difference between that and some of these other incentives, I think cities will incentivize folks to come and give them a break on some taxes. I'm not an expert here, but I think that the jetty is different than it holds us harmless. We're not really giving anything up. They backfill us in the funding formula. At least that's early indications are that's how that works. I'm talking to some of my peers about their jetties, because that's becoming more prominent. With 313s no longer available. But yeah, so no, it doesn't really help us. It wouldn't be a windfall for those folks that think that data center would solve our financial problems, or it really wouldn't for the general operating budget. Okay. I'll push this along. We can still ask questions if you have it. We've already talked about some of the information there. Child nutrition, this is our first year to operate our program again after being having a third-party operator for a number of years. So we have a balanced proposed budget there with raises for their staff as well. And then the debt service fund, this is a balance at $38.5 million. This does include all the issuance of all the 21 and 23, all that's been sold. I do think we have a refunding opportunity coming up this next fiscal year that I'll be coming back to you about if it makes sense. But yeah, those are the three board-approved budgets. Just a reminder where we're at in the process. Here we are in May proposing budgets, coming back to you with all the formal steps to adopt the budget in June. And then it's hard to see, but approving the tax rate in August, September. So I will stop there for good questions again.
Does anyone have any questions for Mike?
Sorry, I do.
It's okay.
Back on the original budget that we're looking at, I know in the workshop we were talking about also hiring, I think, 3 more law enforcement.
Police officers?
Police officers, law enforcement.
Yeah.
Does this include that?
Yeah, so the change between the workshop and today, we had 3 officers and a lieutenant, if you'll recall. We've been working diligently with Chief here and trying to kind of balance those, the financial challenges we have, as well as our plan there, and our good cause exception, rather. And we've figured out a way to cover the 3 campuses that originally were in the plan. So just more of a distribution of resources. We don't want to publicly talk about exactly where all those units might be, but it's in the spirit of what we agreed to, and getting coverage for 3 more campuses, which we were able to do. So that's kudos to Chief. And,
2 officers and 2 monitors.
oh, you meant,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so instead of the 3 that we talked about, we have the 2 in the, okay, okay,
yes,
okay.
Yeah.
And this, right,
We've had the monitors the whole time. It's the police officers that have changed a couple times.
Okay.
We've tried to figure out how to staff that.
and I'm sorry, but this includes the 1% increase or the 2% increase?
No, ma'am, this is the 2% that we talked about.
Okay, okay, that's what I saw, okay.
Yeah. So everything you see here is the 2%, including all the things we mentioned on the slides right before. Does that help?
And if the board decides or starts discussing the VATR, the VITR or whatever,
Yeah.
what's the timeline to start talking about it, getting it out, marketing it? I mean, could we, I mean,
ASAP, I would say.
I mean,
June, July. I mean, I would say July at the latest to make a decision. I think there's some steps in early August that are actionable. There's deadlines in terms of timing. You have to, of course, publish. I can give you a potential calendar of dates that would kick off.
so if not this year, maybe next year?
Yeah, any
But that's
year.
something we can start toying.
If you have accessible pennies in the formula, it's any year.
Okay, okay.
Just
But
every
we-
November is the only restriction.
So we'd have to start talking June or July, or the board would have to start looking at it earlier and then coming June, July, if we're going to.
Yeah, that's when
proceed.
you're making decisions by that point. So
Okay.
there's an efficiency study that's required. It's basically just benchmarking. It's a benchmarking report more or less about how we expend dollars versus our peers. You don't have to act on it. It's just kind of it's a wrinkle of the law. But that would be a pretty minor step that we could do. So.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so, again, this is just proposed, no action tonight. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank
Wow, good applause.
Yeah. Next is our communications report and our curriculum report, which are for information only, but I believe trustee Armstrong had some comments about.
Yes, and I'll make them kind of short, but coming off the budget and perhaps some not so good news, I do, and Jennifer, this is you and your team, I'm looking at it, and First National Bank and CODA. I even dove a little bit more into the P-TECH, the Pathways to Technology, early college, high school, and also the CTE. And I just want to say how y'all are doing a very good job. You're really, I feel, yeah, we have a monetary construct, but it seems like, going back to what Dr. Lee was saying, the teachers, the administration, is really putting the students out there, and they're really exposing them to opportunities that perhaps that they don't know about. And I mean, these internships, the 15 programs that the CTE offer, the animal science, automotive, teaching, it's just, I want to let people know in the room and who's also watching, this money that we're doing is, I mean, yeah, you hear a lot of bad rumors out there, and of course, the bad news makes it, but this is wonderful. Thank you so much. And you and your, all the teams and the people, I just want to say thank you. And it's awesome. And I think the kids who are going to be working at CODA are going to have a wonderful time. That is going to be neat. And just another thing, I think Trustee Ruiz mentioned this, basically on Gold Star, what they said, 9,625 students, roughly 875,000 miles for the school district. And I don't remember any accidents are losing kids. I mean, that's awesome. And again, it's just amazing how we really value the students. And I don't think, again, I don't think people realize, the public realizes, Bastrop is huge. I live out in Red Rock. And to come into town, to go to Colony Oaks, it's like, no, I'm going to stay over there in Camino Real, maybe Allerton, but that's a long ways for me. 895,000 miles. Wow. That, again, we do so much for our students. That is, it's awesome. And then we went into the energy management. I'd like to see a report of that. That's, I think that's John Outlaw. I don't know if he's here or not, but he's not here tonight. That you are part of that. Yes. Yes, and I look forward to that energy audit and seeing hopefully what we can reduce. I'm sure Mike will be very anxious to have a reduction in utilities. So, yeah, that's amazing. It's just, I just wanted to play kudos to you all, because I don't think the public sometimes realizes how much the school does behind the curtain, so to speak. So I wanted to get that out there, and thank you very, very much.
And Trustee Armstrong, I appreciate the comments, because one thing I think the public does not see is all the work that goes into our 2,000 plus employees to set these students up to be able to take the next step in their life, whatever that is. We saw some tonight, of course, that are going to college, but there are all kinds of pathways available. In Bastrop, that was, since I've been on the board for the last 8 years, that has been a charge, is let's set these kids up so that they can take the next step in life once they leave. And I think everyone needs to be proud of the accomplishments this our staff has done for these students and continue to do. Next is our Facility and Support Services Report. We'll address Senate Bill 546, have a presentation and discussion related to 3-point seat belts on school buses, our bond update, and our presenter is Lee Raspberry, Executive Director of Facilities and Support Services.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Dr. Lee. Happy to be here with you this evening to talk about 3 different topics. The first topic we'll start out with is Senate Bill 546. This is required reporting to the board this evening. Senate Bill 546, this was passed in the 89th legislative session. This requires district buses to have 3-point seat belts. It's a mandate. A couple of exceptions there. The board decides that the districts don't have the funds to purchase buses with three-point seat belts. That doesn't really apply to us. Neither does the second exception, which is the board decides that retrofitting existing buses would void warranty. Neither of those really apply to us. We must comply with Senate Bill 546 by September 1st, 2029. Districts must report to the board the status of buses in compliance with Senate Bill 546. Again, that's why we're talking about it this evening. And districts must also report to the TEA via Sentinel, the Sentinel website by May 29th, 2026. And here's our numbers with respect to the bill. The number of school buses without seat belts in BISD is 0. Number of school buses with 2-point seat belts in BISD is 4. Number of school buses with 3-point seat belts is 46. Estimated cost to replace or retrofit is 0, no cost to the district. Gold Star Transit will replace 4 buses this summer with ones that have 3-point seat belts, thereby bringing us into full compliance before the 26-27 school year. Okay, that's the plan. Any questions about Senate Bill 546? Okay, moving along. Let's talk about the bond program update and the construction that's happening around the district. Let's start out with Mena Elementary. We're about 98% complete. Library office addition is 90% complete. It's lagging just a little bit behind because we decided to put some storefront doors in there for the librarian. So those are going to be delivered here in the next couple of weeks and installed. Aside from that, everything's done. New light poles on Beach Street, those have actually been completed. All punch walks are complete. Campus transition beginning the last week of May to their new building. And just as soon as they exit their old building, we'll start the demo. Demo permits already been given by the city. Here's an aerial view where you can see the courtyard. What you see inside the courtyard is artificial turf. And then, of course, the old building there in the lower right-hand corner, which will be going away here pretty quick. Inside the library, looking from the librarian's circulation desk to the back wall with the new graphics that have been applied. There's the Mina Elementary Gym after it's been striped. Very nice. This is the foyer when you walk in. Again, it's very welcoming. Bartley Koch, our construction partner, has done an outstanding job on this project. There's the front as you're walking up to the building from the courtyard. So phase 3, the demo, like I just mentioned, hasn't started yet. The permit's been issued. We'll demo the last of the remaining buildings starting May 27th. We give our maintenance and operations teams a couple of days to go in there and salvage and cannibalize and take out things that we know we're going to need later on down the road. So they'll get a couple of days to remove some relatively new HVAC units for the district that we'll keep in inventory in case we need them. We've also asked Bartley Koch to salvage bricks for a future Mina legacy project. We haven't really determined what that project is going to be, whether it's a walkway or it's benches, or whether we sell those bricks because, you know, there's a lot of history in that elementary school. So we're going to salvage probably 2 pallets of bricks, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 600 bricks is what we're looking to salvage. So I'll get back to you when we decide what we're going to do with those later on. Scheduled completion is November 2026. This project is on schedule. Gateway and Circuit Genesis renovations. We started the Gateway renovation about a month and a half ago. We're 30% complete. Sheetrock's in progress. Mechanical, electrical, plumbing is in progress. All the overhead has been completed. Exterior concrete, we've got a couple of ADA things that we're going to correct. And that's going to happen here probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. The Circuit Genesis renovation, that'll begin May 26th. Now that we've gotten PD out of that back hallway, we'll start that renovation, and it'll amount to about 6 different classrooms, 6 traditional classrooms. We're also adding elastomeric coating to the roof to stop leaks. That's an old roof at Gateway, and it was a better solution for us than to replace the roof. So we're gonna install elastomeric coating. That's going to be in June. We need about a week of dry weather. That project as well is on schedule. Here's some pictures from up in the mezzanine. The square ducting that you see is all new. That old duct that you see below it, the insulated duct will be removed, but that's all new HVAC ductwork above the mezzanine. Sheetrock, all the stud walls are up, and sheetrock is going up. Tape float and texture. Riverside and Creekside Middle School additions, about 95% complete. Existing gym renovations are still underway, about to wrap those up. New competition gyms are complete. I think we showed you pictures of those last time I was up here. We've received our substantial completion. New monument signs are complete. Again, this project is on schedule. This is an American Constructors project. They've done an outstanding job. Bastrop High School additions and renovations. All in all, about 25% complete, including the classroom wing, their interior renovations, and the new competition gym. This project is scheduled to close out December of 2027. Locker room demos complete, and the renovation is underway there, as it is in the north end of the library as well. New classroom wing framing and drywall underway. Can't see it from the outside, but the outside's all weatherproofed, and they've already done the brick wainscot along the outside of the new classroom wing. Competition gym interior CMU is complete. Overhead mechanicals are currently in progress. The bus loading area canopies are underway. So where the new bus loop is going to be outside the gym, they're standing up the new canopies for the students. Those look good. Area C re-roof is complete, and Area F re-roof is underway. Show you a picture of that. Kind of a high-level picture. If you can see kind of to the north there where the cafeteria is, you'll see the cleaner, lighter colored roof. That's the re-roof that's just been completed. And then Area F is already been, the roof has already been demoed, and they're getting ready to start with that re-roof as well. So they're making a lot of progress on the re-roof. The plan has always been to do half this summer and do the other half next summer. And it's just based on the size of that scope, we have to split it up over 2 different summers. But we won't have to touch that roof again for another 30 years. So I'll probably still be here. Okay, this is inside the high school competition gym. All the roof framing is up, all the HVAC is up. Of course, you can see all the walls are up. They're waiting on the clear story windows. There's several clear story windows on the west side of the gym. They're only on one side, and we're waiting on those to come in, provide some natural daylight to the gym. This is a foyer when you come into the gym. This is where the concession stand, ticket booths, all the men's and women's restrooms are at. As you can see, mechanical overhead is still underway. That's all the duct work that's hanging down. This is a view of the re-roof. This is a mod bit roof. It's a good roof. This is the cafeteria area that's been completed. This is outside of the classroom wing that we just discussed. All the waterproofing's up. Windows will be installed probably in the next 2 weeks. This is inside one of the hallways. So you can see the insulation, stud walls, and they've already started hanging sheetrock. They're moving along at a really, really fast pace on that classroom addition. Doing a great job. And last but not least, elementary school number 10. 0% complete, with the exception that we've started erosion control. That's already been completed. Site vegetation scraping is underway. Mass grading effort begins late May. Secondary access surveying is complete, and the general contractor, which is American Constructors, they're going to be putting their construction trailer out there in about 3 weeks. So we're off to the races on ES10. If you haven't seen the entrance to the subdivision, that's 21.5 feet to the bottom of that thing there. We had to make sure that we could get firefighting apparatus underneath it. That's the entrance. This is our school site looking west.
How far back is the school from that entrance right there?
It's probably about 3/4 of a mile, straight along the main boulevard, Waterford Boulevard. It winds around and it kind of turns back to the left, and our school site is on the left-hand side of Waterford Boulevard.
Is there a back way out of that subdivision?
Not yet, but there will be. I referred to it as a secondary access.
Okay.
We will have secondary access that our neighbor to the west is putting in, and it'll connect to the backside of Waterford Boulevard a little bit further down, and then run all the way down to the light at Tucker Hill, where we'll have a protective turn for our school buses to get into the subdivision.
Lee, excuse me, what kind of traffic do you all foresee, or can you flow the traffic flow for dropping off and picking up? I mean, it seems like, I know couple the times we build the school and there's no traffic out there because it's out in the boonies, and then all of a sudden it's very popular.
Yeah, so TxDOT has done a traffic impact analysis, but they've done it for the front entrance of the subdivision. We haven't done a traffic impact analysis for the school site yet, but we will eventually, and come up with an idea of what that's going to look like. We've got everything planned in the way of stacking and queuing for parent drop-off and pickup. All that's already baked in. But we haven't done a traffic impact analysis.
But Tucker, that road going in the back, I mean, we're just a mile off of 71 with that road into that elementary. They're actually abandoning that road,
And the secondary access that they have deeded to the county, the public right-of-way, will be right along the property line, about 60 feet inside their property line, and will run up parallel north along the property line to where it makes the connector into Waterford Boulevard on the backside of the subdivision, backside of Phase 2.
Plenty of opportunity to come off of 71.
Plenty of opportunity, and that's a four-lane road. So they're really, the neighbor who's putting in the road, they're really putting in a nice road for us.
They're putting an
Well, for
overpass in there too, aren't they? Isn't
I'm sorry?
TxDOT's putting in an overpass there over Tucker
Yeah, there'll be an
Hill.
overpass over Tucker Hill.
So,
Yeah.
so that would help alleviate.
Yeah, that's why you're seeing a lot of the utility infrastructure going in right now, ahead of it. Okay? There's another look, that's looking southwest from the top of the school site. Ranger Excavation is already doing the removing the vegetation. They'll come in and start the mass grading. There's a lot of material that has to be moved around on this site. One side of the school will be out of the ground about 11 feet. So there's a lot of retaining walls and that sort of thing. So we're going to have about 8 weeks tied up in mass grading before we really get to any of the foundation work, right? So, but we've got some really, really good people working on it. Okay, and so this is something that we wanted to talk to you about, safety and security. I'm kind of going to tap into Chief's area here just a little bit. TEA has come down with some new guidance on ESAs, or exterior secured areas. Previously, we were just required to have 6-foot non-scalable fences around our campuses to provide the security that we need, right? In doing so, we were allowed to have exterior doors that were behind the secured fence. We were allowed to have those open during the school day for students to transition between buildings, you know, the main building to the gym, or main building to the cafeteria, or whatever the case may be. Well, TEA has come down now and said you can't do that. Those exterior doors need to remain locked. And so again, it's just kind of this ever-evolving thing with TEA. So anyway, new standards clarify exterior secured area requirements, including that a perimeter fence alone does not qualify as an exterior secured area. ESAs must now be assessed and approved by TEA. TEA has an inspector that comes in and will actually look at the school site and approve any of those exterior secured areas. That is all done through Chief's department. We must show that locking of doors is not operationally possible. That would be something if we needed to get a pass from TEA, we'd have to show that it's not operationally possible to lock the exterior doors. That we don't fit into that category. We can lock our exterior doors. Campus must demonstrate a reason for unlocked doors. Convenience is not an approved reason. Okay. So again, this is our friends over at the TEA. Again, this is this constantly moving thing. We're doing our best to keep up with it. But currently, as we speak, all of our schools with exterior secured access or exterior secured areas are fully compliant with the adjustment needed at Cedar Creek High School, where we just completed our new classroom wing. We have a remote sliding gate allowing for staff parking there. TEA says that when that gate opens up to allow traffic in and out, it stays open a little too long, and pedestrians or somebody could come in behind a car. Okay, so we're working on a plan now, another security fencing plan, to go inside of that fence so that we would have pedestrian gates leading into the campus. So we're working on a plan now, but that, of all of our campuses, that was the only one that they said we really need to do something with, okay? So, really not bad, all things considered. Any questions about TEA guidance on exterior secured areas? We have a plan. Any questions about bond construction? Any questions in general, operations?
On Gateway and Circle, construction on those.
That's a Chasco project.
Okay, both of those.
They're doing a great job. Yeah, right on schedule. Anyone else?
Thank you, Lee.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Moving on, our Human Resources Report, the Police Safety and Security Report are for information only. The next item is our consent agenda. Would any board member like to pull any of the consent agenda items for discussion? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items as presented.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor, please raise your right hand. None opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Action item, consideration and possible action related to Senate Bill 546, seat belts on school buses. Because the district will be fully compliant with Senate Bill 546 within the next couple of months, no action is needed by the board on this matter. Our information items include the Board of Trustees calendar of events, enrollment, the Bastrop Central Appraisal District 2027 proposed budget, which are information only. And does any other board member have anything to bring before this meeting before adjourning? If not, we are adjourned.
Sure.